The best and worst of personal growth, my S tier rating. What up? It's Dalaney Davis, and in this episode, I'm going to be sharing everything I've ever done in personal growth to change myself, to evolve myself, to work on my money, my relationships, my business, everything I've done in pursuit of evolving. Now, there are so many paths you can take when it comes to starting your personal growth journey, from books to following influencers to getting degrees and psychedelics and seminars and coaches and mentors and you name it, I've done it. And in this list, I'm going to give you a breakdown of everything I've done, where I rank them on an S tier rating, and perhaps give you some guidance on where you should start your own journey. Now, I have a number of things I'm going to be reviewing and ranking of all the things I have personally done. And I was thinking about the criteria on how I want to do this. So the first piece of the criteria is an immediate effectiveness. So finishing it the next day, something has shifted inside, whether it be a new internal system, a new physical system, emotional, environmental, whatever it is, something has changed immediately. The second and most important criteria is long-term sustainable impact. So it's not a one and done, feel amazing, and then it tapers off. And then finally is the ease of integration. Now, integration, if you don't know, is that embodiment, that it becomes who you are, it becomes your habit, it becomes your routine, it becomes you, right? So this is my 3-tier criteria on how I'm categorizing and choosing where to put each of these on the S tier ranking. So what I have here is everything that I've done as an experience, some one-off thing, or a longer term container like a year or multiple times I've done it. I've got things like marijuana, mushrooms, ayahuasca, yahe, psychology degree, all the different types of therapy, doing seminars like Tony Robbins, Landmark, Dr. Joe Dispenza, simple books, group programs, temazcals in Mexico, detoxes, coaches, human design courses, meditation retreats, Reiki, past life regressions, LSD, so many things. So let's dive in, shall we? I'm going to start with a fun one, LSD. Now, I did a lot of LSD when I was studying psychology. I had an amazing professor who I shall not name, who was very inspiring and encouraging on the various impacts that various psychedelics can have. And I did copious amounts of LSD, some 500 plus journeys or tabs of LSD across a couple of years to really expand my mind. LSD for me was the one that snapped me out of my depression. It also, I attribute it to making me more intelligent because LSD can connect the synapses in your brain and make other parts of your brain communicate with other parts without you knowing. So short-term impact was very instant. Long-term has been life-changing. Ease of integration, maybe not so much. The come down is pretty weird coming back into life. So I'm going to give LSD a B tier rating. Next one, in no particular order, Landmark. Now, Landmark is an amazing personal transformation institution. I was in and out of their seminars for many years, and it is truly a transformational experience. In terms of bang for buck, it is some of the cheapest personal growth you'll do. I think their introductory seminar, the forum, is like $300 New Zealand, so maybe like 200 US or something. Very, very powerful distinction. Definitely can give a bit of a wavering in terms of some of the tasks they get you to do and some of the things they pursue you in. But being in a group setting in a seminar is critical for transformation because I believe that transformation happens with other people. You need other people to see, hear, and create you in order for a transformation to really be long lasting. So what I ended up creating in my relationships, in my life from Landmark was truly transformational. So I'm going to also give that a B. Yeah, give that a B. Maybe C, but I'll give it a B because it truly is long-lasting. The immediate effects are quite intense, but the long-lasting effects is definitely powerful. Okay, next, let's do human design. So I worked with a human design coach to really analyze my birth chart. Now, if you don't know human design, it looks at the exact time, location, and moment you were born. It's very astrology-based and very deep in your personal profiling tool. It works very well to help you identify who you are and really connect to some of those unique strengths, your unique mission, your unique voice. And I found a lot of clarity coming on how I work when I translated it from the spiritual into the practical. Working with a coach was really powerful because it even helped me communicate it on how it applies to business. In terms of instant effect, though, it was very challenging. It was a very long journey to understand and connect to it. So because of that, I'm going to put it in C. Next, let's go for a big hitter. Let's go Tony Robbins. Now I love Tony Robbins. I'm a child of Tony Robbins. I've done every single one of his programs. The only thing I haven't done is the Platinum Partners. I'm a trained Tony Robbins coach, so I'm a little biased on how powerful the distinctions are. But this man truly is the best of the best in terms of his knowledge and his Orderian psychology principles. Now, there's like Freudian ways to learn about the mind, which is like psychoanalyst tells you have problems. But an Orderian philosophy is they teach you what's going on in your brain. They teach you how and why neuroses are occurring and the breakthroughs you need, which is very much my philosophy on how I coach people, is teaching them and helping them understand. Tony Robbins as well, from a baseline perspective, like he's helped me master life, relationships, money, business, health, you name it. His programs are fully mind-blowingly transformational, and he's getting old. So if you've got the resources and you've got the opportunity to go to one of his events, I tend to recommend. So he's definitely going straight up into the A category. I just did coaching as a general thing. Like this is one-on-one coaching. Now, coaching as a modality is incredibly powerful to help you create the future. Therapy is about healing the past. Coaching is about creating the future, the possibilities, the vision you're stepping into. Having that one-on-one mentorship, that guidance and accountability is truly powerful. So I'm going to put that A, but I'm going to put it back to B because I've had a few duds. You really have to find the right coach, find one that aligns to you, and then you get that A-level experience. But coaching as a modality, a one-to-one coach is incredible. All right, fun one. Temazcal. If you don't know what a Temazcal is, it's a Mexican tradition, and it's almost like a hot sauna with volcanic rock and fire and chanting and oils. It's a very intense transformational experience. Not to be too intense, but the last Temazcal I did in Mexico, I heard God. Yeah, you heard that right. God spoke through me and I got God's ears for a moment, which was one of the most intense experiences of my life. In terms of instantaneous transformation, it was incredible. Long-term transformation, not so much. And integration, so-so. Every time I go into a sauna now, I do think about it. So it has that element of that reminder cue. But in terms of true mind-blowing transformation, it's going in C. Okay. Next is one that a lot of people, when I introduce myself or I get talking about what I've done and who I am, and I mention that I have a degree in psychology, so many people say, I wish I studied that at university. Now, one thing about studying something like psychology is that there's a phase of your life where the short term, it's quite impactful because you're learning about all these deep traumatic things that humans experience. You're learning about all the different neuroses that people have. And I remember sitting there in lectures when you're learning about, anxiety and depression and schizophrenia and all these various disorders. You're sitting there hearing the DSM-V, which is like the prescribing tool they use. Like you've got this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. And you're sitting there going, oh my God, I've got that. So short term, it was quite impactful, but long term, in terms of the tools and the baseline of an experience of me being able to see the world from a very scientific lens, from a psychology lens, it's giving me intense empathy and emotional intelligence, I feel, that has really helped me so much in my life. And also my ability to help other people has been hugely impactful. So yes, studying a degree in psychology is quite a big feat. So short term, it loses points. Long term gains a lot of points, and then implementation was challenging. So for that, it goes in B. All right, let's do another psychedelic. So I'll start with Yahe, because Yahe is something that not many people know about. Now, I've done Yahe with the Peruvian tribes, and Yahe is a beautiful psychedelic. It's very much like ayahuasca, but it's more the father or masculine energy. So it's very intense. You very much are doing the work. Just like ayahuasca, it's a very intense ceremony with music and healing and chanting, and it's an all-night experience. But Yahe for me was a beautiful, powerful experience to really awaken my masculine energy. It really helped me heal a lot of those wounds and really made me step up into my manhood in a way that was truly powerful. It's truly an amazing experience. The ease of getting into the Peruvian tribes is quite challenging, and the intensity of the masculine energy of those tribes and of those ceremonies is very intense and puts a lot of people off. But it is a very, very powerful experience nonetheless. And then in terms of long-term change, it's definitely created a lot of change in my life. So I'm definitely going to put Yahe up in the A's as well, because it's truly powerful. I'll do the other core psychedelic, which was ayahuasca. Now, I have done dozens of ayahuasca ceremonies with various native tribes from the Amazon and from Brazil. It is a truly beautiful medicine. It is not a psychedelic. It is not a trip, although you do. It is a medicine. It is really about releasing what no longer serves you and really stepping into that best version of yourself and letting go of so much. Many people are scared of the purging or the vomiting, but it's not like being sick. It's releasing. It's getting stuff out. It's like a really good going number two, like it really frees you and makes you feel clean and clear. And the more ceremonies you do, the stronger you become. And it's truly a powerful, powerful medicine. And why the Amazonian tribes are still practicing this and still teaching this and traveling, take the opportunity to do it if it comes to you. What I tell anyone that mentions or asks me about ayahuasca is you must hear the drums. Just like the game Jumanji, you got to hear the drums. It's got to call you to it. And you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about, Dalaney? It's like, but those who have heard the call from ayahuasca understand this deeply. It calls you. You don't go to it. Anyone that's gone to it seeking a trip or to have a trip or experience has a really bad time. You have to be like invited, almost like a vampire has to be invited in. Ayahuasca has to invite you in to really receive you and heal you and guide you to the transformation. Ayahuasca really helped me connect deeply with myself, again, awakening those natural drives, releasing things that were no longer serving me, and really deepening my relationship with my partner. A lot of the tribes around ayahuasca say, people take drugs and alcohol to forget, but you take ayahuasca to remember. So again, that goes straight in the A category. It is a beautiful medicine. It is a powerful, powerful journey, and it's truly, truly life-changing. Let's spice it up. Next, I'll do group coaching as a modality. This instantly goes into the B tier as well, because group coaching is a powerful, powerful tool because we're created by other people. And you also will make some of your best friends in a group coaching program, whether you're coaching on relationships, on business or money, whatever have you. Joining a container of people doing something together is truly transformational. You'll find that the longevity of what you learned, of what you practiced, of what you studied will stick around for so much longer. So if the opportunity to do a group program and something you're interested in, do it. Because a group program compared to, say, like a course where you're on your own, the instant gratification is really challenging. The long-term effects is kind of waning because maybe you didn't quite finish the course, which how many people don't finish courses? So if you have the opportunity to do a course in a group program setting, it will completely separate it and make it far superior. Next is a meditation retreat. The likes like a Vipassana or something along those lines. I've done many different ones. I put this in C because it is more, for me, they are more of an instant relief experience. If I'm having a very stressful week or stressful month and I've got one of these in the calendar, it's a really healthy reset. It's a really healthy grounding. Then the integration, I find, for me always tapers off. I come out of one and I'm like meditating every day, meditating hour a day, let's go. No need for, guidance, just roaring it. And eventually that habit seems to drop off. So I find integration really challenging, but the short-term impact, really powerful. A great reset, a great stress reliever. So a meditation retreat definitely helps on the cards of stress relief and a bit of clarity, but long-term integration, a bit more challenging. Okay, down here, this is an icon for past life regression. Now, this is about tapping into someone who's very connected to God, source, universe, and can tap in and communicate and channel your past lives to help give you wisdom and guidance on various decisions and various things you've made. Now, I've had some crazy experiences doing past life regression work where, one of them connected to very deeply that me and one of my siblings had been in past lives again and again and again. And something he did, he is now paying for in this life. And something I did, I'm now being rewarded for in that past life. And without this person knowing, that's the dynamic me and my brother kind of have. So it's absolutely wild. It's insightful as like a fun fact. Take it if you leave it. But in terms of like life changing and you're going to change your behavior, change your direction, grow from it, not so much. That's why I'm going to put it in that kind of D, maybe even E tier. Maybe not worth the like, I'm going to do this to transform my life. It's I'm going to do this for a fun exercise to maybe learn a little bit about my past. Next is energy work. So this is the likes of like Reiki or other practitioners. There's so many modalities around this, but they're all essentially helping to connect and tune in and essentially heal you. So with this modality or these modalities, it's about them kind of doing the work for you. Many people are very, very tapped in terms of how they can connect with your body and heal various frequencies and various energy blocks and things going on in your body. So as a modality, it's a very beautiful healing experience to have someone work on you and help you. And if you're ever doing Reiki or someone's doing Reiki on you and you feel cold, ask them to stop instantly. That means they're not actually connecting to you in a healthy way. That means they're not actually fully integrated in the work they're trying to work on you for, because they shouldn't go cold. They should actually go hot, like a stove boiling doing the work. It should get hot. So if anyone doing Reiki touches you and it's cold, ask them to stop instantly. They must be warm and must be hot to do energy work on you. But this modality is beautiful. It's healing, it's connecting. It can really make you feel safe and seen. So as a modality, give it a go, explore it. In terms of long-term impact though, pretty low. So I'm going to put it in a C, because integration, you've got to do it quite frequently to really ramp it up and get the benefits. Marijuana. In my early days, I smoked a lot of marijuana. If you're smoking weed for enlightenment, you're doing the wrong thing. I don't think this is one for growth. I don't think this is one that's really going to benefit you. It can maybe alleviate some symptoms of anxiety and types of things like that. But long term, it's not going to benefit you. If you're a man, it's going to drastically decrease your testosterone. It's going to decrease your motivation, decrease your focus, decrease your memory. It is not a good drug. I'm sorry. So for that, straight an F. I regret all the weed I smoked in the past, but that's okay. We've only got a few left. How amazing. This top one. This represents all the therapy I've done for many years. Now, I've done a number of different types of therapy. Now, there's the likes of CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, timeline therapy, and various different types of modalities of therapy. Now, my current favorite is IFS, which is internal family systems. And this is critical for healing the past. This is critical to release those unwanted or reactive emotions. If you hesitate, if you react emotionally to your partner, to a team member, to a colleague, to a friend, and you don't quite know why, it's kind of a spike and a trigger, it's because a younger version of you is running the show. Whenever Bryony and I are having an argument, we know that it's our inner 8-year-olds. For me, it's my inner 8-year-old. For Bryony, it's her 10-year-old. Those times where we felt abandoned or let down by our parents, those are the emotional triggers that come up. Because all we are is a combination of all our past experiences. And what IFS therapy helps you uncover is separating the story from the emotion from the facts. There's 3 layers. How can you pull those apart to get clarity on what actually happened? To get clarity on what that child actually needed in that moment, which could have simply been a hug, could have simply been to be pulled away from the situation. To hear a truth from a loving, connected adult of what that inner you needed to hear at that time. And you can dramatically heal. You can completely change how your internal system works, your emotional state, your reactive, your productivity, your performance, all from healing the past. It sounds so trivial, particularly for us millennials who are so future focused and moving forward. We don't want to look back. We don't want to go backwards, but it truly is one of the most powerful things you can do. So for that, I'm putting therapy straight in A. It does take time. It is a long-term modality. You need to kind of do it every 2 weeks, every month for like a year plus, but it's truly a very powerful modality, particularly internal family systems work. Write that one down. All right, last few. Let's do mushrooms. So I've done dozens, if not hundreds of journeys with psilocybins and various forms of mushrooms, from golden teachers to intense meeting God-like journeys. And they are all very different experiences. I find with psychedelics, LSD gives you motivation and a quest. You know, if you've ever taken LSD or psychedelics, it's a quest. You know, let's go over here, this you can get there. Let's go over there, this you can get there. Let's go find a drink, and you're questing. With psilocybin, you get a lot of questions. You get a lot of questions. It's very visual. It's very beautiful. You're like, what is that? What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? What is my life? And you get questions. Ayahuasca and Yahe give you answers. So in terms of immediate effect, I'd give mushrooms a plus. Like, it's very heart opening. It's a beautiful experience. It's very visually beautiful. It helps you really connect with people and nature, and it can open your heart and give you a lot of beautiful ideas because it gives you a lot of beautiful questions. So for that, I'm going to put mushrooms in B territory as well. If you have the opportunity, make sure you start small, slowly increase over time as you, not on the day, but in other journeys. You can start with a microdose like 0.1. Yeah, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the insights and the answers you get. Here I have books. A lot of people ask me for book recommendations on all sorts of different topics. And for me, it's almost like a shortcut. Well, people think it's a shortcut, but it's actually the long road, right? It's actually, think about long. Most people take months to read a book. Now I smash a book out in a week, but that's because I've trained myself to read a lot and frequently do it. But in terms of immediate short-term effect, not that much. Long-term, not that much. Ease of integration, quite challenging. So books is almost like a little down here in the kind of D category, I'm sorry. And that's simply because we need that full immersion for transformation. That's why Tony Robbins and these ceremonies and therapies and stuff are so powerful, because that's all you're doing. A Tony Robbins seminar, for example, or a Dr. Joe seminar, which also gets to go in A category, which is deep, deep internal visualization, manifestation, healing work. Dr. Joe Dispenza, again, highly recommend his retreats. They're immersive. They're incredible. They're powerful. They truly are transformational in the short term and long term, because it's all you're doing. When you're, say, consuming a course or reading a book or doing these other modalities like a group coaching program or even coaching and even therapy, is you're constantly getting interrupted. You're scrolling social media, you're working as well, and you're doing other things, and it's all this, that. It's like diverting your attention and not being hyper-focused or trying to multitask. But when you do a true transformational event like Tony Robbins or a ceremony, or Dr. Joe Dispenza, is it's all you're doing. So all day, every day, like some of Tony's events are 5 days, it gets in your system, it gets in your body, because that's all you're living and breathing for 5 days. So truly, truly powerful. Finally, down here, I have detoxes. Now, detoxification is a critical component of your health and life journey. Now, I understand with the temptations of modern world of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, sugar, processed foods, all the things, that it can be quite hard sometimes to navigate and look after our health. Now, I've had a huge health journey of my life in terms of also addictions that I've given up, like alcohol, cigarettes, sugar, processed foods, you name it. I've given it up. And it took me a while to really give up, say, processed foods and sugar of the like, because they're so freaking addicting. But I found the journey of doing detoxification, detox cleanses over the years to really help me clean my diet, completely elevate my energy and mood like nothing else. I mean, nothing else. Like, the gut is the second brain. And if you can clean that through doing a good detox program, your life will completely change. One of my favorite detox programs is the Medical Medium. Now, he has some amazing heavy metal detoxes and green cleansers and that type of thing to really help you alkalize and clean your body and really elevate your mood, energy, vitality, everything. Now, short-term gain is incredible for a detox. The long-term sustainability is challenging, particularly if you just do a detox and then go back to your crappy diet and then detox and back to your crappy diet. It can be like a wave. And then the integration sometimes can take a bit of a learning curve. But the more you do them, the more it'll absolutely change your life, where then the detoxing cleanse will just become your normal diet. With high levels of protein, high levels of good fiber and good supplementation, your life will never be the same again. I used to pursue knowledge. It was my default setting was I need to get a degree in psychology. I need to do all these courses, read all these books. I need to understand my mind. And then health became that priority. And I plateaued in my health, I plateaued in my energy. But the second I started doing cleanses and cleaning up my diet, everything changed. Unlimited energy, amazing clarity, amazing focus. And every time I feel a bit sluggish, it's not my mental internal system being negative is a cue that I need to cleanse, rather than my internal system is who I am. So detoxification cleanses is straight in A tier. Now, to crown the crown jewel, that S tier, that one that gets to go at the tippy top that I highly recommend you do for that instant change, that long-term sustainability and that integration, has to go to Tony Robbins. This man is truly the best of the best when it comes to personal growth and transformation. And like I said, I've done all his programs, and across the board, Him and his team and the guests and the experts that get on are truly the best. Not to mention the transformational experiences that he creates at his events. It's a thing that Brian and I aspire to create through our Untapped events, but it is truly, truly life-changing. So hats off to you, Tony Robbins. You get the S tier ranking for the best personal growth work, rated by this guy, Dalaney Davis. Love your work, D.